Hey everyone, we are live now. We're gonna take just a few seconds. Ollie's having trouble getting in, so just one moment.
I'm not looking forward to next semester.
But if you turn the hamburger off on the stove,
Good evening, everyone. I apologize. My computer was trying to restart about 3 or 4 times. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order at 7:04 p.m. Asia, if you wouldn't mind doing a roll call, letting me know when you're finished, please. I just checked the participants list. Asia is not here, so is Kendall here? Kendall, if you don't mind, could you look over the attendance and let me know who's here?
Okay, I got you.
Thank you.
Ali, you can keep going while I record the names.
Okay, thank you. Can I go ahead and get an approval of the minutes, please? Someone make a motion.
Motion to approve the minute.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. As for the agenda, the ASG legislation as well as the voting day legislation are going to be moved to next week. So if I can get some to approve the amended agenda.
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
Get a second.
Second.
Thank you. Moving on, into old business, we have the Pronoun Act. If you want to go ahead and talk about that, Edmund, if you are here. Edmund is not here. Charles, if you want to go ahead and go through the second reading of it.
Edmund is logging in now.
Okay.
And
Also, it doesn't have to be reread.
all right, I'm here.
Thanks, Jesse. Edmund, if you'd like to go over the Pronoun Act and the revisions that you've made in the past week.
Would you read that? My Zoom cut out.
Yeah, I was just saying if you would like to go over the Pronoun Act and the revisions that were suggested from last week, that'd be great.
Yeah, give me 1 second to pull it up. I'm just now getting set up.
I'm Kimberly Oriana. I am the parliamentarian for the Beta Beta chapter of Chi Plus Sigma. I am Beta Beta chapter Iota Line. I became a sister in Baltimore.
So I'm still pulling it up, but the main thing, the revisions that were made was just changing the language so it's not required, it's just strongly suggested. That was the big thing that I know that was brought up. So I just made that language change. Other than that, it's fairly the exact same.
Hi, I'm a part of the Beta Beta chapter. I became a sister in 2020. Iota Line. I am vice president, public relations chair as well, and everybody.
Hello? Gia, is that your mic?
Wait, what was that? I'm sorry.
I think you're unmuted, and I think that was.
I'm Jesse Johnson.
Never mind. I don't know who that was, but someone's mic was on.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that, Edmund.
No, you're good. All right, let's try it again. So basically, the only changes was really just to the language and making it so that it is no longer required. It's just suggested, and it's just in the SOPs now. Other than that, it's like, fairly the same document that it was. Last week, no one really reached out to me like requesting any changes to be made to this. So yeah.
Did Charles, I know he's not here, but did he relay any of the information that was suggested from last week or no?
Not that I can recall, no. 'Cause I know that like edits were made last week once I showed up. I think those were like, he didn't mention like any additional requests or changes.
Yeah, that's correct. I just wanted to make sure you address those.
Yeah.
I know we don't have to have a second reading,
Mhm.
but does anyone want to see it again, just to make sure like that the language is all inclusive and correct and all the suggestions that were made? Cam, I saw a hand. Anyone else want to see it? Well, since we at least have one, and I'm kind of curious as well, would you mind pulling it up and sharing your screen?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Oh wait, it says it's disabled for screen
Yeah.
sharing.
1 second.
Mhm.
Edmund, can you do it now?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull it up and I'll just let it like sit there. Y'all see my screen now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna let me know when y'all want me to scroll down to the next part.
If anyone wants to add any suggestions, we can move into discussion. Or would we like to motion to vote? Oh, never mind, Chris.
Can I do a friendly amendment? Can you go back to the first page? On that last whereas clause on the first page, it says the Student Government Association of the University of North at Greensboro. Can we just fix that? And then I'm set.
Is there anyone else? Cam.
Does anyone have to lend their time to me for this?
Yeah, someone would have to give their time to you.
Yeah. Someone yield.
I give my time to King.
Thank you. I was just gonna say, because I know Austin brought up last time whether or not we did have that, because it says on that 97 session, like a piece of legislation was passed. Like, was that actually passed? Did we double check that? Or Austin, I was wondering if you could answer that honestly, or
Yeah,
if you
we
had knowledge about that.
yeah, we did pass that legislation. It was SB 9721, I believe.
Okay, cool. That was my only question.
Anyone else? Seeing that there's none, we can move into voting if you all would like to. If someone can make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to go into voting.
Second.
Thank you. All right. Jesse, are you going to go ahead? Well, no, is there any dissent? Seeing there's none, we can go ahead and move into voting. Jesse, if you'd go ahead and send out the poll so then we can make sure. Thank you.
Can whoever took attendance send me how many senators are present, please?
It's Kendall. I just contacted her.
Say it again.
It's Kendall.
Oh, well then Kendall, please.
Asia is here now, so I just sent it to her.
Okay. Well, Asia, if you could send that to Jesse, please. Asia, if you wouldn't mind, could you send Jesse the attendance sheet so she knows how many senators we have, please?
I'm doing it right now, Ali.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I thought my thing was frozen. Okay, never mind.
There's approximately 2/3 of the senators here, and from that, a simple majority can be reached. So out of the 20 of you who voted, it would be 20 to 0 for the Pronoun Act, so it would pass.
Thank you, everyone. Congratulations. I definitely think this is an important piece of legislation and can't wait to see it enacted. Moving forward, well, before we move forward, if you're in a place that you feel comfortable, you can have your camera on, please turn it on. As for there's only like, I think 6 of us on, or like 7 of us that have our cameras on. So if you feel comfortable, just please put your camera on so we just have like a, like I don't know, like a nice little interaction. Thank you, Daniel. Here. Edmund, thank you. Jared, I appreciate it. Moving forward, Daniel, if you'd like to go over the SGA Participation Act once more.
Sure. Would you like me to read through it? I'm feeling a bit better this week. It is lengthy, and I don't think it needs another read, but I did have some additions that I can just share my screen and show you all if you would rather read to yourselves.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just going over the additions, that'd be great.
Sure. Give me one moment. Can I get permission to share my screen?
Yeah, Austin, if you wouldn't mind enabling that.
You should have access, Daniel, to be able to share your screen. If you don't, please let me know.
Okay, I think it's working. All right. So within the written text up here, I have it highlighted just to make it easy. This is the only change that I've made to this aspect of it. Last week, someone mentioned that there should be some sort of committee that would overlook the types of service people are going to be doing. And I went ahead and implemented that in this legislation along with some guidelines involving that. And I have that explained a little bit more in section 3. So whenever you are ready, I can scroll down. Am I good to scroll?
Has everyone been able to view it?
Daniel, if that's the only changes that you made, I think we're okay to move into discussion unless you want to just share the changes, because we read this last week.
No, this aspect here, I'm just showing what changes I made in additions. That was the first one. Now this entire section here is what was new. That was highlighting and explaining the oversight committee.
Cool.
I'm going to scroll down a little bit from the top. Let me know if you're not finished. But yeah, that is all the changes I made. Everything else from the legislative committee seemed like it was pretty solid grammatically speaking. So if anyone else, we could possibly move into discussion. I'm not sure if that's my place to suggest.
Yeah, we can go ahead and move into discussion. And I believe since Anthony already yielded his time to Irving, Irving, you can go ahead.
Never mind. What I was gonna say, I ended up reading it at the end, so you're good.
Okay, is there anyone else for discussion? Could someone yield their time to Austin, please?
I yield my time to Austin.
Thanks, Joe. Daniel, I wanted to, I mean, this is more of a question than necessarily a discussion, but I mean, maybe we can use it for this. Do you think it's better to create an entirely new committee chaired by a secretary, or to have these duties and responsibilities done within a committee that already exists within the Senate, such as current concerns? I think could be an ideal place for this. I just wanted to pick your brain about that.
Current concerns, I think that would fit in there. Since I'm new, I'm not exactly familiar with every facet of the committees that we currently have. So whenever I see something that could use one, I kind of jump to, let's just make one. So if you all are more aware of it and more involved in that respect, then certainly we can just implement that into that committee. So I think that'd be fine if you think that would just make things a little bit easier.
Austin, did you want to respond to that or no?
All I would say is, yeah, I think it probably would be a little bit easier, more simplified, because you already have people designated for that committee, and it would also, increase their ability to be useful within SGA. I think it's a good idea, to be creative like that. I'm not sure if it's necessary specifically for this situation to add a committee whenever we can utilize another one for similar purposes and whatnot. But thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely. How would we go about changing that? Because I assume we wouldn't go into voting since we need to make that amendment, or can we currently make that now?
Well, I can't make that suggestion. If a senator or yourself wants to accept it or whatever, it would go between y'all. But since I'm not a part of Senate and my time is just yielded, it has to come from someone else. But
oh yeah, that was more of a question to everybody. If someone would like to, we can go ahead and make the edit now and then move into voting, or like I said, I'm just unaware of the proper procedure with this.
Anthony?
It's just a question to Austin. If you add this role to the current concerns committee, would you have to change or add to the SOPs since the SOPs outline what they're supposed to do?
Probably just in the same way that you're adding to the SOP here. So likely, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
So would anyone like to make that friendly amendment as a senator. No one would like to make that amendment? Edmund, point of clarification.
Yeah, what's the friendly amendment that's proposed being made? I'm a little confused right now.
Essentially, what President Moore suggested was to remove my addition of a new committee and just implement that into a current committee. So for me to do that on the fly, I'm not exactly comfortable with that since I'm still getting used to the writing style and everything else. It took me a little bit of time to craft this. So if anyone who's a little bit more well-versed and knows the ins and outs of that, I think all we would have to do is just change the title and then change the aspects of like creating a new versus adding it to an additional committee. Because everything else in it would just be, it's just highlighting what additional roles and responsibilities that standing committee would take on with passage of this legislation.
All right, thank you. Can I just add something? Would it be best if we ask like the current concerns committee their thoughts on this before we make that change? Because like I know personally, like I don't feel comfortable like trying to add something to like someone's workload, you know? So I feel like that's like something that should be, I don't know if like Tiana wants to jump in this, but like maybe ask them about that since that is her committee.
Can I speak?
Someone have to
So,
yield.
sorry.
Like, someone yield their time to Tiana.
I yield my time.
Tiana's a senator.
Oh, my bad. I thought, never mind.
So I personally don't mind it, but I would just like to put it out there that I'm graduating in December, so it will no longer be my committee. So I don't want to make a decision for them, if you get what I'm saying, moving forward. So maybe if anybody on the committee would like to share their thoughts about this.
It is important so individuals someone else said,
Just a point of clarification, I guess more to Daniel, if you don't feel comfortable like them voting on this, you could table the piece until the third reading and connect with these individuals about changing it and also like changing like the responsibilities and like what committee it goes to. And then it could be brought back up next week.
Yeah, I think let's just go ahead and do that. I'll look it over and get in touch with the relevant folk, and then we can talk about it next week and hopefully move it to a vote by then.
Also, just in the meantime, Jesse, was that your mic that was on?
Yes, I'm in two Zooms at one time, so it might have sounded funny. I apologize.
No, you're good. I was just double checking that someone didn't have their mic on out of turn. But Cam, you can go since Anthony yielded his time to you.
No, that's what I was just gonna say. Echoing what Edmund was saying, like just reaching out to the people that are a part of that committee before giving them those responsibilities for the future. That's all I was gonna say. I think it does make sense to just utilize the people that we have in Senate for this piece of legislation. You know what I mean? Like utilize the committee we already have. Like that would make the transition easier because we're just adding a few more responsibilities. But yeah, definitely double checking with them. And then I was gonna say too, yeah, extending it to next week so you have time to reach out to those individuals and discuss things over with them. But yeah, they already said what I was going to say.
Is there anyone else? Would someone like to make the motion to table until next week?
Motion to table till next week.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any dissent?
You get poop particles all over your asshole.
Who is that? Well, sorry, I was a little, I don't know, that threw me off. Anyways, um, we'll go ahead and move that into next week. Daniel, if you'd go ahead, I can get in communication with you as well as Austin. I saw he said he'd be more than willing to help, and we'll make sure that we get you in touch with the right people so we can get that underway.
Sounds great.
All right, well, moving forward, since the ASG legislation and the voting day legislation have been moved, there is no new business unless someone has something in the drive that I've not seen yet. Evan, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I don't know if this is like new business or not, but like I do know that like something that has been brought up is that elections are next Tuesday. So I don't know if we can discuss possibly during this time if we're gonna have Senate next week or like what, because like it's elections, you know. So I just wanted to throw it out. I don't know if this is the right time or not, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
It's not necessarily the right time. Usually we speak about this around, I believe, analysis, but you can go ahead and speak about it now. I know that Austin and I were talking about having the last Senate meeting not on the last week of school, just because like everyone's like practicing, like getting ready for their finals and things of that nature. So would we want to have Senate the last week of school and then not have it next week just because of elections, or how do we want to go about that? Just so I have everyone's opinion. Irving?
I was just gonna say that like the way that like past elections have gone, like unless you're voting, like unless you're stuck at the polls still voting, like I feel like you should be able to come to Senate, because the last few elections we didn't know until about 1 o'clock in the morning who won the election, and with this election we won't know that night anyway. So I don't think that's really a reason for us not to have Senate unless like a lot of us are going to be still at the polls voting at that point in time. Just a thought. Don't shoot me if you don't agree.
Anyone else have anything on that topic? Daniel?
Yeah, so pardon me. In regards to that, I know there are a few SGA members who are actually going to be participating as poll observers. So I think we should reconsider that, just based on the fact that they're helping facilitate our democracy. They shouldn't be penalized by not being able to attend the meeting. So it just really, we need to take into account like how many people are going to be volunteering for it and how many, you know, what's the majority there.
Daniel, would you know who's going to be a poll observer? I know Peyton's going to be one. Is anyone else going to be a poll observer?
I'm currently waiting to hear back on my position. So.
Okay. Austin?
Could someone yield to me?
I yield.
Thanks, Daniel. So I just want to say that, you know, while it is important that those who are going out to be poll observers, maybe those who are going to go vote and whatnot, that they have the opportunity. However, I do want to just include like two pieces of information. Polls close at 7 p.m. Senate starts at 7 p.m. And also that we have multiple pieces of legislation that will be coming up next week. Also, we'll be voting on multiple pieces of legislation to either be passed or failed. So and we're also running out of time this semester to get stuff done. As you know, our last meeting is either going to be the 24th, unless we decide to cancel that meeting as well, since it's the last week. So I just wanted to put that on everyone's perspective as they're making these decisions. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Austin. Irving, you can go since Anthony already yielded this time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like there's some time sensitive stuff like the academic relief. I know we already passed it, but like I think that's something we're gonna be talking about the next couple meetings until we hear back from the university. So just be aware of like the stuff we still need to get done when it comes to canceling next week or canceling on the 24th, whichever one we decide. But obviously it's up to y'all. Well, up to you, Ali, sorry.
Could someone yield their time to Cam, please? Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony. I just wanted to reiterate what I said in the group chat because, like, I know not everyone's looking at that for the whole meeting, but I was thinking that maybe for next week's meeting, we can make like an exception or like an excusable absence if you're voting like still because, you know, people have work and school. So maybe that is the only day like you can vote in that time frame. So if people are still voting or helping out with voting, just have an excusable absence, but like the majority of us need to be here, you know, 7 p.m. because I feel like it would be more beneficial as well, like to have the week that week we have exams to have that Tuesday off, like during that time, because I know a lot of people have already voted in SGA and stuff. So yeah.
Thanks, Cam. Daniel?
Yeah, can we possibly delay the start time? Because as President Moore said, it ends at 7 and we begin at 7. Then I believe that should be, if we delay it by 30 minutes to an hour, it may run late, of course, but given the commute time, given the time it takes to get everything set up, if someone works that day and then they get to the poll and they just squeak by and get it in, I don't know, maybe we just get rid of the penalization of it if they're late or something of that sort.
Daniel, I don't know if you saw what Austin said, but he said we can delay it. We just have to advertise it beforehand.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be the best course of action with that, since we do have a lot on our agenda, and it wouldn't necessarily take anyone away who's volunteering or still have yet to vote.
Austin, should we go ahead and vote on delaying the time, or does it have to be voted on or no?
I'm sorry, Ali, what did you ask?
I was just asking, since we're not like changing the meeting date or like discontinuing the meeting, will we have to vote on changing the time?
Yes, Senate would have to vote on that with a majority vote.
All right, so if anyone doesn't have anything else to say, we can go ahead and vote on this. Seeing that there's no one, Jesse, if you wouldn't mind setting up the link again and letting me know once you're finished.
Sorry, Ollie, can you explain? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you're good. I just texted you.
I dissent.
Anthony dissents.
Can you please state your dissent?
I think about it similarly. So if I have a privilege,
Like why you're going against?
Well, I just hear somebody else talk. I didn't know if somebody was talking or not.
Oh, it's like my phone is talking at the same time.
Oh, okay. I mean, I just dissent because I don't think moving it or whatever is going to make that much of a difference. Just to have it at 7 o'clock, I think we'll be fine. I think what was the thing we want to move it or just move to the end of the year or whatever? Was that thing?
No, we were just trying to delay the meeting by 30 minutes to an hour, just so people who are poll observers could make it back on time.
Okay.
So do you still dissent?
No.
Okay. Could you retract your dissent?
Yeah.
Okay. Jesse, so we're just voting on delaying the meeting by 30 minutes to an hour. Before we send out that form, does anyone want to decide on 30 minutes to an hour? Edmund, you said 30.
Also, if there's no dissent, then you guys don't have to vote. It's just like everything else. That's what it's decided.
Okay. So does anyone have a preference from 30 minutes to an hour? I'm seeing 30 minutes. So anyone for an hour? No? All right. So we can go ahead and delay next week's meeting by 30 minutes. And I'll make sure that I work with Gia and a couple others to make sure everyone is advertised about how we're moving the meeting back by 30 minutes next week. Thank you, Edmund, for spearheading that conversation. We can go ahead and move on to executive reports if there is no more new business. Seeing none, we can go ahead and move into executive reports. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Awesome. You can go ahead and go.
Thank you, Ollie. I really do appreciate it. So I don't have a picture this week. I'm sorry about that. But what I've been up to this week is doing the Glenwood Urban Farm with Ollie. That is not the right dates. I apologize. But I did the Governing Documents Review Committee on Wednesday. There we assigned who will be the co-chair and set our expectations for the semester. I've been waiting to hear back about the academic relief package that I sent to the provost, Dr. Child, faculty senate chair, and Dr. Hamilton. I received word back today that they are considering it. They looked at other campuses, and Provost Coleman spoke to other provosts about what they're doing. A&T did choose to decide to use pass or fail this semester, and they were one of the schools considering it, but there are a lot of schools that are just not considering grade relief. UNCG seems to be on the bubble, but it seems unlikely, but hopefully we can put some pressure there to get relief for students. I'm going to continue to speak to the provost and Dr. Chow, and I'll keep you all updated about that. Did a follow-up meeting for the Black Lives Matter mural. We came up with various different things that we're going to try and do to help provide support for our Black students on campus, some of which includes better counseling services, arguing for more representation in classrooms and whatnot. These are very important things that students such as myself who are white don't really recognize, and I think that it may be something that is overlooked at this current point. So hopefully we can advocate for some of that change in the near future. Had chamber meeting today, and we discussed what we've been up to, what we're going to continue to do this semester, and some of our goals for next year. We also discussed the academic relief package and what exactly we think is best moving forward whenever we try to advocate for such things with admin. And maybe we'll have that discussion later. Senators, y'all could have that during Senator Forum. And then preparing these concurrent resolutions with ASG, which will be here next week. Sorry for the calendar misunderstanding, but you should have them next week, and then we can discuss them and bring them forward. So other than that, what's coming up, doing Glenwood Urban Farm again next week. If you are interested, if you have any questions on why you should be interested, definitely reach out to me. I would love to have those conversations. I meet with Dr. Akins on the 29th, so this Thursday. So that should be good. And I'll be meeting with our new co-chairs for the Governing Documents Review Committee. Sorry, Dr. Craig. I also have dinner with Dr. Craig and Edmund and Peyton tomorrow, actually. Sorry about that, Dr. Craig. But yeah, we have a dinner with them to discuss different things with SGA and see our future plans and whatnot. But we'll be meeting with co-chairs Peyton and Kaylee. Congratulations to both of them for spearheading governing documents this semester. It should be a lot of fun and should be, a good little challenge and whatnot for the rest of the semester and year. I wanted to bring or pose a question to you all. I think the Go Vote video was a good way for us to all get involved together. Even if it was, just for a few hours. I know, Zoom University and whatnot is definitely isolating and whatnot, but we do have some opportunities where we can get together and do little video things like that. I wanted to know what types of projects would you all like to see moving forward. We could do different things related to holidays, culture days, and stuff like that. Or we could do videos related to SGA specifically on furthering educating students about what SGA is and what we do. I remember last year we discussed trying to make a video to show where the cubicle is and where the SGA offices are. Moving here in the next week or so, we are completely redoing the cubicle and trying to make it look really nice and stuff like that. So maybe that is an option that we could look back into to get going. But yeah, if you have any ideas for that, please definitely send me a text. I would love to hear from you all. If you have any ideas right here, right now, by all means, go for it. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you all and see what kind of ideas you have. But other than that, I appreciate you all. Thank you, for being wonderful senators and colleagues and everything. So other than that, I will be quiet. Thanks, Ollie.
Yeah, awesome. Real quick, Jared did say for next semester, a Black History Month video would be appreciated.
Awesome. Yeah, I can definitely write that down. Jared, if you wouldn't mind, because I think you have my number, if you could just text that to me and then we can discuss this week and we can maybe plan for it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Jared. Peyton had some other obligations tonight, so I'll be doing her report today. Her office hours are virtually Monday through Friday from 10 to 1 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 to 4 in person. Her cell phone number is there. Her email is there. She's been up to executive council meeting, which we had yesterday, conduct team meeting, which she had on the 23rd, phone and text banking for the elections, and then she had hearings last week. And I believe this is a message she had. She said, please vote if it is accessible to you. You can same day register and vote at any early voting site in your county from October 15th to October 31st. And that is a picture she had from DC, I believe. What's coming up for Peyton? She has another executive council meeting, conduct team meeting with Austin, myself, and Meredith as needed, working as a poll observer on the 30th, and then governing docs committee meetings and hearings. All right. I've been doing quite a bit this past week. My office hours are there. I changed them a little bit. I realized that volunteering at the at the Glenwood Urban Farm was kind of mixing up my times with office hours on Wednesdays, so I moved them around and I added some time to different days. They're up there. There's my email. What I've been up to, I've been meeting with Austin as usual, working on the governing docs committee, which met this past week, and we appointed Peyton and Kaylee, as Austin mentioned. Volunteering at the community garden with Austin. A follow-up meeting for the Black Lives Matter mural. Executive council meetings. As vice president, I do co-chair the tuition and fees committee. So I've been working with Dr. Boyette, who's the other co-chair, and we've been working on tuition and fees. And we've been meeting and talking about price comparisons between other schools, our sister schools, as well as other schools across the nation, which we are similar to. And I've been working on that. I had a follow-up meeting with Dr. Akins and Saheem to discuss student forums that we have to have for that. So for next week, I am planning on having a student forum with Dr. Boyette about the tuition and fees committee. We're thinking about having it at 6 p.m. on Tuesday. I know that is election day, as we all know. But if you are available to make it, I'll be sending out more information about that the next couple of days as he gives it to me. So next Tuesday around 6 p.m., we're trying to have a student forum for that. We had the chamber meeting today. I met with Milan yesterday to discuss some HRL concerns. As for the emergency winter break housing fees, I reached out to Dr. Hamilton for academic relief to get an update on that. I know Austin's been in communication with him and many others. I'm just trying to make sure that we are doing all we can to keep pressing them to really advocate for the students rather than holding out on us. I reached out to Terrence and Tiana because they both are graduating this December, so congratulations. Definitely going to be sad once they leave, but they are going to be moving to bigger and better things. So we're definitely working on filling their positions and making that a seamless transition. I reached out to Asia to start scheduling one-on-ones for senators and committee chairs, so be on the lookout for that. I have, she'll be sending out that type of stuff and information in the next week, so I have my times ready and available. I reached out to HRL executive Tim Johnson to solve winter break housing problems. Once again, just trying to keep pressing them to advocate for students. And then I also participated in the student leadership conference meeting today with a couple others. And then on to the left is my car. I love that thing, so I post that. I didn't have a picture of myself, so I just posted that. I just cleaned it a couple days ago, so there's a picture. And then on this slide, here's a picture I took of Austin. We were at the farms, and we were taking some of the fencing down for some of the gardening plots, and he kind of got stuck in it. So I just took a picture of it because I thought it was funny. He couldn't really move for like a couple minutes, and then that's just one of the goats that are on the farm.
If I could just add something, the wires there were awfully sharp. We both got scratched up and whatnot. So, you know, we have some battle wounds from that. That's pretty awesome to say between me and Ali.
Yeah, we definitely shared something similar on that because I had, I think, some spider bite on my hand, as well as I had like a big cut from one of the wires. What's coming up? Planning other roundtables. We're thinking about doing one for housing. Planning SGA outreach initiatives. I did meet with Dr. Craig. I believe it was, I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks ago. Time is definitely flying. And she discussed with me about having some more service-oriented things as that is per our platform. And she gave me some ideas because I was telling her how with COVID, it's not really going how I thought it would go. So we're trying to have some things that are standing in place for that. So I am working on having a couple of options so that we have some times that we can have service for SGA. So I'm thinking of having like maybe like 3 or 4 different groups of like 10 people that can come out and volunteer at certain events for certain organizations. So I'll definitely be giving you all more information about that in the next week or so. I had this up here last week about legislation for minority groups on campus. I am working on something for that. Ever since the Black Lives Matter mural meetings that we've been having, I had some ideas about having other murals on campus that also serve other minority groups. So I was working on some legislation for that. Planning legislative board meetings, and then senator one-on-ones and committee chair one-on-ones, as I mentioned. Scheduling more speakers for future meetings. Hopefully next week we'll be having Nagla Rashwan, who is the GSA president, that's the Graduate Student Association president. She'll be coming hopefully. And then more governing doc stuff, executive council meetings, working on COVID stuff, meetings with Austin and Peyton. And then shout out to Edmund. It is his birthday tomorrow, so y'all wish him a happy birthday. He's turning 21. And I believe that is it on my end. At this point, we can move to senator forum. Any senator can speak for up to 2 minutes on anything that is pertaining to SGA. Gia.
Yeah, hey everyone. So some new publicity things. I just put the link tree in the form. So if you ever have links that you want me to add to it, let me know. I know in chamber, Tiana brought up the concern about students wanting a little recap. So I'm hoping to put a link to the minutes there as soon as they come up. That way students can always go there and see what happened in SGA meetings. Also, Edmund, if you could send me a picture, I'll put a birthday shout out on the Instagram tomorrow. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll be updating the Instagram.
Thanks, Gia. Kellen?
Hey everybody. I had seen the 2 pieces of legislation that were supposed to be in new business today. I just wasn't sure. Those that got skipped, I guess. I had missed that in the beginning. I just wasn't sure why that had happened.
Which pieces of legislation were they?
I think it was the voting day, and then there was one other on there.
Do you know the name of the other one?
I do not offhand. I saw it in the.
It's the ASG ledge. The ASG.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, ASG is being pushed to next week, and for voting day, I did not know that was completed, so that's why I moved it to next week, because when I looked at the drive, it did not look completed to me.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thanks.
So would you like to present that next week? I do apologize for skipping over that.
Yeah. Next week will be fun.
All right.
I had just seen it on the agenda, so I thought that it was good. If I need to do something else with that, just let me know.
All right, I'll definitely reach out to you, but I apologize once again.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
Anyone else? Irving, did you want to speak about anything? Because I know we talked about that earlier.
Could you remind me of what we talked about?
Well, it was about like I forgot. I think it was like either plots or academic relief for the Black Lives Matter thing. Was one of the 3.
Can you repeat that one more time?
I said it was either plots for NPHC, Black Lives Matter mural, or academic relief. I forgot which one it was.
Oh, I think it was academic relief. No, during chamber, I just made it very clear that like we have like 3 or 4 more weeks left in the semester. So like at what point do we start pushing back, I guess, is the question we were asking earlier. And we wanted to bring it to Senate to figure out like if you guys had any, well, if any of you had any ideas as to what we could do moving forward, because I don't want time to run out and then like the university not give us an answer. And I apologize for using the word guys, my bad.
Thanks, Irving. If anyone had any suggestions on that matter, you can speak up now.
I think that somebody was saying, I was talking to Carmen just a little while ago. We were saying that we probably have a bit longer than just the end of the semester, because you can't really put any of your academic relief options in up until, at least according to the spring 2020 semester. You can't put those options in up until sorry, I cannot talk, after exams and once you get your final grades back.
Yeah, I know whenever Austin, Chris, and I met with Provost Coleman, they were talking about retroactive academic relief. I don't know how that works, but it definitely is afterwards, after the semester has concluded. Irving?
I think what I was trying to point out was like, I don't want us to go home for 55 days and the topic of conversation dies and like we relieve that pressure off of the faculty.
Thank you, Irving. Anyone else? Seeing none. We can move into announcements. Any SJ member may speak up to 2 minutes on anything. Tynasia.
Okay, hey y'all. I just wanted to make a quick announcement. I got like a couple emails after I sent out the newsletter of like who to send like the community service hours and details to. y'all can just email them to me. I can drop my information. I really wish that anybody who has completed any service hours this semester to submit those to me so I can keep track of those and just see like what y'all have been doing outside of SGA. Thank you.
Thanks, Ty. Anyone else? Austin.
Hey y'all. So as I was like sitting here, I was thinking like we should probably like, plan to do a video to show the cubicle and the different offices. If you're interested in that, if you could put a V in the chat, and then we can go from there, and I'll like write your names down and get started on that. I think that would be a really good way to get students included and whatnot. Know what SGA is and like where they can find us. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. So appreciate you.
Austin, is the V for voting? Because I was just wondering. Or like video?
I'm sorry?
I was wondering if like the V was like for video or something, because usually you put an X. I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, I just said V for like if you're interested in being a part of the video, just put a V, and if you, I guess like those who would put X's, that's for doing like more announcements.
Okay, I got you. Makes sense. Irving.
Can you give me screen share access really quick?
Austin, could you give them that?
Actually, I already have it. Can everybody see this shirt? Hello. All right, I guess y'all can see it. So a few days ago, I put a poll in the group chat about these shirts. I'm trying to zoom out so y'all can see it, but I'm struggling. Hold on. What's happening? Let me refresh that. Anyway, it's with the Movember Club, and they were teaming up with Alpha Chi Omega, Theta Delta Chi, Pike, Theta Nu Xi, and Phi Beta Sigma fraternity on campus to raise money for men's mental health awareness. And obviously, for some reason, y'all can't see the SGA logo, but SGA is also teaming up with this club to raise money. So once I send this out, if y'all could post this and reshare on y'all social media, it'll help out those Greek Orgs Philanthropy, and it'll help raise money for men's mental health. Thank you.
Daniel.
All right. I've been working with Gia about getting the Spartan food drive up and running with a social media flyer. That has been created. I've already sent it out to the companies I've been talking to already. I've already got some donations coming in now. We should be having a bin or using the bin that's already there in the SGA office. So if you all know anybody who has an excess amount of canned food that's in good condition, definitely let me know, and I can work out a way I can come and pick it up and donate it myself if you're busy. Either way, we're taking canned food, non-perishable, box pastas, and toiletries of any kind. So just be sure to contact me if you have any in excess, and I can come and get it. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. Anyone else? Irving, in response.
Daniel, I know a lot of grocery stores, Lowe's Foods to be specific, they donate to different food banks. So maybe you could reach out to grocery stores, because like, I don't know if at their registers, if you've ever noticed, they're like, well, would you like to donate a canned good to the food bank? Right now, my store is working with a specific food bank, but I know we're always open to donating that stuff to other causes. So I can reach out to my store specifically, but if you wanted to reach out to other grocery stores, because they're making the money off the sales, but at the end of the day, they donate those, I guess, goods that people bought at the end of their purchase two different places.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Just any grocery store. I wasn't aware that they choose or they can be influenced on which one they pick.
I know Lowe's Foods definitely does it, but I can't speak for every grocery store. But there's like 4 Lowe's Foods in Greensboro, so.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely venture out that way and see what they have to say.
Thanks, Irving. Thanks, Daniel. Gia?
Yeah, the flyer for that will be getting posted tomorrow. So if y'all want to share that and let people know, that'd be really great, just so we can get the word out and help raise food and awareness for Spartan Open Pantry.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind y'all, Tynasia does have a bin in the SGA cubicle. So if you want to definitely drop stuff off in there as well, we can all put all that together and send to Spartan Open Pantry. Thanks, everyone.
Anyone else? Seeing that there is none. Asia, could you go ahead and do a German roll call and let me know whenever you are finished, please?
Gia had something.
Oh, Gia, sorry.
Oh yeah, what I was just about to say is this just hit me. I would love to make our Instagram more like people focused. So if you have any major accomplishments that you just had happen in your life and you would like for us to shout you out for it, let me know. Like if you want any awards or you're holding any cool positions or anything happen, let me know. I definitely want to shout out our members and all the good things you're doing on campus and just letting students know who we are and we're more than just positions. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Gia. Anyone else? Jesse?
Hey Gia, when I get done with my conference next weekend, can I be one of those people?
Yes, of course.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Seeing that there's none, we can go ahead and move to adjournment roll call once again. Asia, if you wouldn't mind going through that and let me know whenever you're finished, please.
So to make this easier for me, I'm going to call out your name, and if you could just unmute yourself for like 2 seconds and say, here, present. Okay. Is that okay with everyone?
Asia.
Okay, great.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
Ali, you are here. Kindle?
Present.
Thank you. Paige?
Here.
Thank you. Austin, you're here. Jared?
Present.
Gia?
Here.
Jocelyn?
Here.
I don't want to say this wrong. Toluwanimi.
Here.
How do you say your name?
Toluwanimi.
Toluwanimi. Okay, thank you. Jesse's here. Manuel? I don't.
I'm here.
Thank you. Saheem?
I am here.
Cameron? He's here.
Here.
Hazael?
Hazael, you call me Haz. I'm here.
Pause. Okay, thank you. Daniel?
Here.
Irving is here. Edmund is here. Interverse, Juwan. Mason?
Here.
Awa?
Here.
Shannon?
Here.
Helen?
Here.
David Stevens?
Here.
Anthony?
Here.
You're here? Okay. Carmen?
Here.
Who's here? James Taylor,
Here.
Tiana,
Here.
Chris,
Here.
Leslie,
Here.
Jessica,
Here.
Amaya,
Here.
David Gonzalez,
Here.
Terrence, and Tanisha's here. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Asia. I will go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 8:17 p.m. Thank you all for your time tonight, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.